Hey everybody, welcome to Cut, Transform, Glue into the Enemy Recon Unit build episode 2. In this one I'll show you guys how I made the eyes, the sensors of this robot, and also how I made an arm with a circular saw and a tip for it. So here's how we left the robot in the last episode. We have all of the basic shapes for the body and for the legs pretty much done. I'm very happy with its proportions, and I'm also very satisfied with the overall geometry of the robot. This very interesting piece right here is going to be the eyes of this Recon unit, and I want to attach it right here to this side of the robot. For that I want to use this piece right here. This is just a segment of a deadlight bulb which I talked about in the previous video. I'll attach this white segment right here to the front of the robot, and right in the middle of it I'll add this 3D printed piece right here. This one is sort of like an eye socket, and it perfectly matches the dimensions of the white segment and the green ball. So yeah, let me begin by putting it together. Okay, so now we have the eye socket attached to the robot perfectly. Now I need to work right here on this side. I need to create a flat surface to attach the arm with a saw. So here it is. Now I have a nice and perfectly flat surface to attach the arm to. Now let's go and create that arm. Let me grab my collection of tube and ring-shaped gribblies and sort of set up a workstation where I can quickly reach for the gribblies and bash them together to create the basic starting point for that arm. Okay, so this is the first structure that I came up with, and this I believe will be the front of the arm. I will use this laser cut acrylic piece right here, which has an axle on the front of it, on the tip of it, and I'll attach the circular saw right here like this. This piece right here is a dead earbud, and I feel like this looks exactly like an electric motor, so I'll attach it to this other piece right here, and I'll glue both of them to the tip of the arm. So this will be like the motor that spins the blade. This spot right here feels a bit empty to me, so I'll use this piece right here, which is a clothespin. I'll cut it to the desired length and I'll glue it right here. Okay, so this is the result. I'm really happy with how this forearm is looking. Now I'll keep this front piece separated from the rest to be able to spin it and pose it. But yeah, now I need to take care of the cutting disc, the circular saw. At first I was thinking about using this laser cut acrylic disc right here, but then I remembered that I had some discs from dead hard drives like this one right here. I'll be honest with you guys, I was thinking this was kind of a metal disc, and turns out this one is kind of like a glass material. This was very dangerous and I don't recommend you guys doing it. But I also got some big discs from some older hard drives like this one right here, and this I could confirm this is like a metal, I could cut it, so yeah, I'll use the big one instead. Now of course this is a huge disc and I need to make it smaller, so yeah, let's see how I made it. Okay, so after a while I've managed to make the whole thing smaller, but as you can see it is not round anymore. So I'm gonna grab this 3D printed piece right here and I'll use it as a guide to spin it against my mini disc sander to make the whole thing perfectly round again. And so here it is, the disc is now perfectly round again. The only thing different is that the middle hole is a bit bigger and the disc is a bit thicker than the first one, but this is actually a good thing. Now I'll chuck it to my drill press and I'll give it the finishing touches. So as you just saw, I first took care of the edge and then I sanded the face of the disc. That way I could give the disc that particular texture that any circular saw have. Now I need to mark on the disc where each teeth will be. For that I decided to use a laser cut acrylic piece which matches kind of perfectly the diameter of the disc, and so yeah, I'll use it as a guide, as a quick guide to mark the disc with a Sharpie. Not my best and most precise job ever, but yeah, this is good enough. At this point, I figured I could drill some holes onto the disc to help me creating the teeth shape. This was a mistake, and I'll show you guys why in a second. Yeah, I marked the holes too close to the edge of the disc and the drill bit kinda slips. This right here is actually the best way to create the teeth on the disc, just a square file, some strength and patience. Now let me take a quick moment right here to thank my Patreon and my Ko-fi supporters. This channel is still very small here on YouTube, and the only way I can keep doing what I do right here is through the support I have on Patreon and on Ko-fi. And so if you want to help me, if you want to help me keep going and keep doing the videos, check the links on the description box. Now back to the video. Now, almost half an hour later, this right here is the result. The teeth is not perfect at all, but I'm quite happy with the result. I feel like this is a nice looking circular saw. I did some work off camera on the arm, and this is the result. I've made some custom 3D printed pieces, and I use a lot of laser cut acrylic. With all those segments, the arm can fully extend like this and kind of reach far, but it also can kind of fold back like this. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now my next step right here is to create an attachment point from the center of the circular saw to the tip of the arm. So I applied a coat of primer to the arm to see how it was going, to check the amount of detail I had. And then I quickly made this piece right here. This is just a simple piece which fits perfectly on the middle of the circular saw like this. And on each side of the disc, I'll attach this other metal piece right here, which is also from some dead hard drives, and it looks amazing. I don't think this is the case, but if I ever need to separate these four pieces, I can just break them apart. This is steel, I believe, and yeah, the CA glue can just be broken. The saw attaches to the arm like this in a pressure fit, nice and simple. And the shoulder of that arm attaches to the robot with an M4 bolt. As you can see, I have tons of bolts to hide and to take care later in the project. And so here it is. Here is how the Recon unit is looking so far. I'm really happy with this project. This is a huge robot, almost the biggest one I've ever made. That and the fact that I'm using some really different shapes is making me very, very happy. My next steps would be to make the feet of the robot and also the antenna. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching.